Okay, here you have a US Roaster's 3 kilo coffee roaster that roasts about 7 to 8 pounds of beans per roast. And I'm using a 16-minute, 7-pound dark roast for this demonstration. There you can see the beans are sitting in the hopper. This is an array of beans from Central America, I believe. El Salvador, possibly. And now we're looking at the screen, the PLC, which shows that the roaster has been turned on and it's rating for a temperature of 420 degrees. Now I've just told it to preheat, and as you can see, right now the air temperature is only around 150 degrees. And there's the data. It tells you all the pertinent information about the components and the fan and the valve for the gas. There's the dump temperature of 451 degrees at 16 minutes. And so now what we do is simply wait for the preheating to reach 420 degrees, and then we'll drop the beans into the roaster. There it is in the light, where you can see fairly compact. This fits in this particular roaster is now sitting in a 100 square foot room in the back corner. I've only roasted 2,000 pounds total since I purchased this in 2009. Okay, so now we're looking at the screen. It says ready at temp. That means we've reached 420 degrees, or we will be shortly. And so I'm going to turn, and you'll notice up here we've got two handles. One handle will pull that allows the beans to come down, and the other one to allow the amount of air we want to put into the mix. In this case, I usually allow about 50% air. Right now it's at 0 air. That little slide will let the beans drop from the hopper into the roaster. Now I'm adjusting the airflow and pulling the beans entry point open. So now, as you can see in the little glass viewer, see the beans tumbling around in there. So we just started our roast for 16 minutes. You can expect to get about 25 pounds an hour if you run this concurrently, and which means in an 8-hour day you can roast all the coffee you can sell and then some. I was roasting this coffee strictly for packaging and resale online, and had intentions to open a store, but those didn't work out, so that's why I'm selling the roaster. We look at the chart here, and it says we're only at bean temperature of 286 degrees, so we still got a ways to go, and we're only at 2.5 minutes into a 16-minute roast. This is the bean checker. You can easily just turn it over when you pull it out and put it back in, and let some beans collect in it, and you can check the color. Right now we're just doing it for fun because it's not been in there long enough to really have a real color. That tells you the beans are less than 10 minutes roasted. This machine is actually very easy to use, and it's fully automated, so it even dumps the beans while you're not attending it. The only thing it won't do is load the beans into the hopper. We're now at about 337 degrees, looking for 451 for our dump temperature, and we're right at 10 minutes into the roast. Okay, we're now approaching dump temperature in about another 30 degrees. And you'll notice we're at 14.5 minutes into the roast. So, only a minute and a half left to go. Now the color of the beans, although it's kind of dark in here, they're getting a little bit on the dark side, but you'll find that they really darken up the last 2 minutes of the roast. We'll take another look at them now. Now they're getting to where we're close to dump time. It'll tell you if you'd like to abort the dump. You can do it manually if you wanted to roast them for a little longer, but since we're so close, we're only within 1 degree of the correct temperature, I'm going to go ahead and let it dump itself. Now you can see it turns on the stir and dumps all by itself. The only thing I'm going to do here is shut or open the vent so that it'll start to cool the beans. You'll want to cool those beans for probably about 5 or 6 minutes before you start your next batch. And you can see we got almost to 16 minutes. We stopped the roast at 15:54 because it had reached the bean temperature. I used the bean temperature of 451 degrees as the dump time rather than true time of 16 minutes, simply because every set of beans is a little different depending on how many pounds of beans you put in there and how dark you want the roast. I like a 7-pound dark because it basically allows the beans to maximize the sugar output and really gives the most flavor for the coffee. Some people like it a little bit lighter, some people like it a lot darker. Just depends on your customers. Now I'm actually finished cooling the beans and dumping them into the container, and we're just about done. ready for the next batch.